Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passager. In this edition, two very different poets, Joseph Harrison and Faye Ashby. Joseph Harrison grew up in Virginia and Alabama and now lives in Baltimore. After thinking for decades about Emily Dickinson, her poetry, and her life, he wrote a series of poems in her voice. He said he liked the fact that her poems exemplified a kind of lyric compression with maximum pressure put on the individual word. In his poem, My Sister Cut Me Into Pieces, from Passager's issue 68, he reflects on the various ways that Dickinson's poems were edited and rearranged by her sister, by a later editor and publisher, and by others. My sister cut me into pieces as soon as I was dead. Worlds upon worlds I'd organized, she'd organize instead. My lines grew titles, sprouted rhymes, gained period and sense, and all my artful books were strewn by clueless negligence. And when a man stitched up my leaves with microscopic eye, aligning all my holes and stains right where they used to lie, just as my long-lost reassembled lineaments shone through, forgetting all his labor's love, he rearranged me too. Joe Harrison's poem, My Sister Cut Me Into Pieces, from Passager, issue 68. The critic Harold Bloom said this about Joe's work. Harrison fuses formal control with a rich interiority and composes many poems that deserve to become canonical. Every year, Passager sponsors a poetry contest and publishes the winners in a special issue of its journal. One of those winners in 2019 was Faye Ashby. Faye retired after almost 49 years from a job with the federal government. She volunteers at 2 museums and is a member of the National Alliance of African American Art Support Groups. She said she was a serious fairy tale reader as a child and has always loved making up stories to tell her children and grandchildren. Here's Faye Ashby's poem, Grandma Rules. He was a verb. Go, run, march. She was an adverb. Slowly, carefully, gently. Their sentence was short. He was a noun. Man, man, man. She was an adjective. Small, tiny, timid. Big mistake. She was a run-on sentence. He was punctuation. He tried to restrict her. She wanted to be free. Not everyone wants to live by the rules. Faye Ashby's poem, Grandma Rules, from Passager's 2019 Poetry Contest issue. To subscribe or learn more about Passager and its commitment to writers over 50, go to passagerbooks.com. You can also download Burning Bright from Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts and various other podcast apps. For Kendra, Mary, Christine, and the rest of the staff at Passager, I'm John Shore.